welcome to the fourth episode of On the Ball podcast. Today I'm here with Virtuoso of the team Discombobulators. So first off, just give a few words on your Rocket League story so far.
Well, I started playing Rocket League in July of 2015 when it got released. Started playing it on PS4 with friends. Then I got a PC last year in August. Started grinding. That's where it began.
Yeah. So, at what point did you realise that this was something that you could do professionally?
I think it started off when I teamed with Archie, Kovari, and Krauser. That was my first semi-professional team, I would say, with an organization, Private Esports, that we were called. We were beating many bowl teams that were, getting salaries and definitive elite series in daily and weekly tournaments. And I felt like I could definitely get to at least to the same level as getting paid or making it my job. And that was like when I got a PC. I'd say exactly 1 year ago.
Yeah. So, as of now, you are in RLRS, which is amazing for your first time. Is it your first time trying?
No, actually, I've played with Rating Wave, who was also my teammate for this season. I played last season with him, and instead of Nachto, our third was Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
We were the 6th seed for the season. It was my first time trying. Same with Rating Wave. Rating Wave didn't try before. He was subbing the season before that for Aces Rogue. That team didn't make it. And Sharp, he played a couple of qualifiers but never really made it. So we decided to team together. We were the 6th seeds, and unfortunately we fell in the lower bracket to Xenomoon, and in the upper bracket we lost to Baguette Squad, and both of those teams made it to RLRS. So maybe if we played different opponents, and would have been RLRS last season.
Yeah. So, did you think this season with Discombobulators you'd make it to RLCS, let alone do as well as you did? Because so far you've only lost one game, I think.
Yep.
How does it feel to have this team that's done so well?
We know that we're at the same level as most of the teams in RLRS. We've been beating them consistently on regular basis now. So. Yeah, I'm not really surprised or shocked that we're at the standing right now.
So you've played a lot of smaller tournaments, haven't you?
Yeah.
So how does RLRS compare so far to anything else you've played?
I don't know. I don't really see the difference between RLRS and smaller tournaments. I would say that RLRS is kind of comparable to LAN. I had first game jitters at LAN. And that's the usual for me, and nothing else different about RLRS and any other tournament. So.
Yeah. So, have you dealt with any pressure at all? Or is it just another game?
In our first game that we played the RLRS against ARG, that was the most stressful game because it was our first ever RLRS game, so we want to show ourselves. As a good team, because they didn't show our game that we qualified to RLRS. They showed every single game in the plane except for ours, which was kind of unfortunate, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because no one knew who we really are, and still up to this day, no one really knows who we are.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this is a chance for you to get your name out there a bit more.
Yeah.
So. Now you have a chance of making, well, hopefully RLCS if this keeps going the way it is. How do you prepare for two massive jumps between play-ins to qualifiers, and you just keep going to new strengths? How do you prepare for something like that?
Just scrum with the team.
Yeah.
I think the most stressful day in Rocket League Esports is definitely playing for RLRS.
Yeah.
That can make or break your whole career.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be less pressure for us to making RLCS. There won't be any expectation, or there won't be many expectations for us to make RLCS for sure, because we aren't as known and we don't have like the name value as other teams
Yeah.
that will be playing for promotion. So yeah, I don't really think there's going to be a massive step. Like in terms of skill, I don't see that much of a difference, except for like the top teams. I would say like Vitality or Reciprocity, but all the others,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's harder to play against bubble teams, I think, for sure, because they just keep ball chasing.
Yeah.
You don't really know what they're doing, and with RLCS they're more calculated, and they just outplay you normally. With bubble teams, you just don't know what they're going to do, so it's definitely harder to play against them.
So you were speaking about playing in scrims. What's like the normal practice for the Discombobulators? You know, do you have like set times that you would practice, or?
We have like a weekly schedule, and we just find scrims for each night or tournaments that we can play, and we usually just scrim RLRS team. We go over the replay analysis. We have like a set day for replay analysis with our coach Eclipse. He's been coaching me and Wave for 2 seasons now, so yeah. We have just like one set day of replay analysis, and then we have 5 days of scrims and then 1 off day.
Yeah. So, how do you think, like, how much of Rocket League is actually in the game? Because you say you do a lot of, well, you do outside analysis as well, where you're watching games. You know, how much do you think that helps as a team?
Wait, as in like?
So. A lot, like Rocket League, you know, you can keep playing, but how much of it do you think, like, outside knowledge and looking at Rocket League from without playing help, like, as a team?
Helps a lot, especially like in a team-based game. Like when we're watching at replay analysis, we're not looking at individual mistakes. It's more of like what we can do better as a team. So that really helps.
So, back to RLRS. As you're like climbing the ranks and you're playing more teams and your opponent's getting better and better, how are you finding? Are you finding that you have to adapt as you go up, or is it just every game you're just playing the same, but what you've got down is very good?
I'd say we just play the same. There was just the one game that we lost. Actually, we started playing differently. Due to just AS Monaco's different playstyle, they weren't as ball chasey as all the other teams that we played, because they have 2 former RLCS players, so they will of course play more. How do you call it? More like slower and so it was different to play against them. It was weird.
Yeah,
didn't really know like what was how to beat them, because we were just used to playing bubble teams that we just try to outchase you the whole time. So yeah. But I don't think there's going to be any other team that will play anything similar to AS Monaco.
So, because they played more slow and meticulous, you think that kind of caught you off guard?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So, what do you think... Because apart from that one loss, you've been doing amazingly. What do you think makes Discombobulators such a strong team?
I'd say definitely our passing plays. Most of our goals come from assists. I think there's like a stat that only like 10 or 12 goals the whole season are coming unassisted, which is like historic numbers for RLRS and even RLCS. So yeah, we're definitely a team-based around passing. And sometimes actually a bad thing, like our coach says, like we need to start doing individual plays, which is like the complete opposite for most of the teams at RLCS and RLRS. So yeah, more passing, and yeah, that's really it.
So you think because you have such important like chemistry between the players, and you know where they're going to be because you're so in tune with them, it's really good to passing and speed. Yeah. So, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it just definitely that helps that myself and Wave have been playing with each other for 8 months now.
Yeah.
So we know like the insides and outs of like our playstyle. Just more of Natch though, getting used to our playstyle, and it's working perfectly right now.
So, what are like your future? So, going more to you, what are your future plans in your Rocket League career? Where do you want like Rocket League to take you?
Well, I definitely want to make it a full-time job, or at least for the near future.
Mm.
Before the year started, like I had like set goals for 2019, and RLRS was one of them, but I didn't really believe it would happen because the late 2018, I was just like a really low bubble player, and most bubble players are just stuck in there forever. So I wasn't thinking I'll be getting out of it soon, but it happened. My goals for last year or this year, I would say, were just making RLRS and getting a salary from it, and just staying in RLRS for the next season, which is looking likely that will happen. And for the near future, I just try to make RLCS. That would be my dream. Been playing the game for 4 years and a bit now. So.
So, what like you say goals for years? Have you already been thinking about next year? You're already ahead of the game. What are you kind of thinking of as of next year?
I haven't actually thought about it. Just thinking about week by week.
Yeah.
Just the fixture for all of us because they're important and they can like change your career. Like every single series matters for sure. In RLRS, it's way more important than RLCS league play because in RLCS you can get top 6 and still make RLCS LAN.
Yeah.
But in RLRS, like if you don't make top 6, then you're out of RLRS for next couple of months.
Yeah.
Which definitely sucks. But for next year goals, I'd probably say RLCS. And just staying in RLCS. It happens.
Well, from what I've watched some of the VODs, and I saw what you meant about the passing, but you play very strongly as a team, so I definitely think RLCS is in your capability. But so you said previously about RLCS and you have to be a well-known team, but as you're going up RLRS and it's being casted more to more viewers, how do you think like the traction of Discombobulators will rise as you keep going? Where's what's next for Discombobulators in the viewers' eyes?
I just hope that the viewers start taking us more seriously and just the community, because I read Reddit a lot and people are just asking like, who are these guys? And after our series against I think Ekazulu, people started like taking us seriously, that we might be contending for top 2, which is great to see. Our goal wasn't top 2, or at least it wasn't my goal to get top 2 for all of us, because this was a pickup team.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I wasn't meant to be teaming with, or it wasn't my plan to team with Racing Wave and Nashta. They were meant to be teaming with Sharp again, my teammate from last season. But things went wrong with my tryout, so I just decided to team with them last second because I just started panicking. I was never in this position.
Yeah.
So I teamed with them. I thought we would be able to get top 6. Like that was my goal for this season for sure.
Yeah.
We're going over the expectations, or at least for my expectations, which is really nice to see.
Yeah. So, with Discombobulators, do you ever think that you'll maybe go into anything like content creating or like Twitch to try and get names out there, or are you just going to concentrate on your own play style and your own games?
I was thinking about it, but I just don't see Rocket League as a fun thing to watch unless you have like a really good personality or just a nice play style to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be streaming that much, at least for the near future.
Okay.
I'm just going to be concentrating on my career and all the rest.
So, as let's say there's a player that's kind of on the edge of being professional, they're looking into teams in this. What advice would you give them to maybe get to that next level, or go make their way into professional Rocket League?
I mean, rank 6-man is definitely the way to get noticed. There aren't any tournaments in the Rocket League scene for the bubble scene at least, which is kind of sucks to see, because there used to be Renegade Cup and all these community tournaments, and now there's only one ESM a week to prove yourself, and there aren't a lot of viewers watching it anyways. So it is kind of hard to get your get your name out there for more experienced players.
Yeah.
I feel like 6 months is the only way for getting noticed by all the good players as well. And if that doesn't happen, then you'll just have to grind it out and just play with people that want to play with you.
Yeah. So, when in this have you been keeping up with RLCS at the moment? Do you know what's going on?
Yep.
Yeah. So, this season has really been a big shift, it seems, between like some underdog or some teams that have been seen as not as good have been coming out on top. Do you think there is going to be a shift in more like a new generation of professional teams?
Yeah, for sure. It's harder to stay on top than rising to the top. That's in every esport and sport.
Yeah.
It takes loads of dedication and time to keep staying at the top. For sure, like in NA, Energy, G2, and Cloud9, always stay at the top because they're working hard. And then there's all like other teams that just fall off, or players. There's more it's players just falling off because they don't want to work hard enough to stay there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there's going to be new blood in RLCS and RLRS.
Yeah.
For sure, the upcoming seasons.
So I'm guessing you're hoping to try and ride that wave and try and dive into being like one of the next big teams.
That would be the dream.
That would be the dream. So, in as a player, what do you think is like the key things that make a good team player, or like in Discombobulated, what do you feel like you bring to the table?
Demos, positioning, ball chasing.
Yeah.
Mechanics. That's really it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I'm that much of a team player, but like, I just do the things that most people don't do.
Yeah.
Like the hard work. I make the situations for my team. I demo the opponents. I grab the boost. Bump them. that's basically.
So a very aggressive play style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes play as third man, but that's a rare thing unless I'm nervous.
So you definitely think that like having your own play style and really getting good at that is very important. Like having your own identity as a player.
I mean, depends on your teammates as well. If you think that your teammates are way better when they're having a good day, then yeah, you can just let them do whatever they want. But my teammates are gladly willing to just sit back and just let me do my own thing.
Yeah. So it's about like knowing and trusting your teammates.
Yeah. They have lots of trust in me, in my mechanics for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be a good time to finish up. So, thank you for being here on the podcast. It's been good talking to you.
Thank you.
And hope to see more of you in RLRS and hopefully in the future RLCS.
Hopefully.
All right. Thanks for it.